You're watching News 4 at 4 with Jim Handley and Bob Ryan Weather.
Hello, everybody. And then coming up, an alarming story of alleged atrocities in China, stories of selling prisoners' organs and human fetuses. That's coming up at 4:30.
Now, News 4 at 4 continues.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jim Hadley. Topping our news at 4:30, some shocking allegations today of human rights violations in China. At a Senate hearing today, witnesses said organs for human medical transplants are taken from executed prisoners. And there are other grotesque reports of the selling of human fetuses as food. NBC's Sandy Gilmore is in our newsroom with more on these developments. Sandy?
Jim, good afternoon. Senator Jesse Helms, a severe critic of U.S.-China policy, called a brief hearing today to hear a grotesque story from mainland communist China. In horrifying detail, two former Chinese dissidents described how executed prisoners are routinely used for organ transplants for foreigners and party officials.
The huge profits in this trade in transplant organs, the removed organs from the execution prisoners' bodies, is continuing and growing.
Former political prisoner Harry Wu described, as shown in this BBC documentary, how he went back to China undercover, ostensibly looking for a kidney transplant for an uncle. Various hospitals wanted an average of $30,000 cash. The source?
My kidney came from an executed prisoner because you get them fresh that way.
Analysts believe China executes thousands of prisoners a year, including dissidents and petty thieves. A former police official, Gao Pei-chi, told the hearing that death row prisoners are held in groups until doctors determine the prisoners are needed for their organs. Without signing any organ donor consent form and without their families' knowledge, they are then shot in public executions.
The body is then taken to a special van immediately upon execution. Then while the van is driving, the surgeons will remove corneas or the kidneys.
The prisoners' remains are quickly cremated. In the BBC film, one dissident doctor claimed he removed 2 kidneys from a living condemned prisoner. Well, human rights activists told a sympathetic Chairman Jesse Helms the U.S. should demand that China end the organ harvesting program. Indeed, Helms' office is citing the testimony today and continuing to criticize President Clinton's year-old China policy, which separates trade from human rights issues. Jim?
Sandy, did Helms bring up a recent report from Hong Kong that some Chinese are selling human fetuses for human consumption?
He certainly did. He said that his committee was going to look into these gruesome charges, that the aborted fetuses in China are used in so-called health food products there, like tonics, which are very popular there in China.
All right, Sandy Gilmore, thank you for that late report.